never necessary. A and the, these are the articles. If somebody asks, what are the articles? So you can say A and the are the articles. If someone asks you, tell the types of articles. So you can say there are two types of articles. One is definite articles and other is indefinite article. The definite article is only one. The indefinite articles are two, a and an. So a article or an article we use before a singular noun, and when the word sounds vowel, the noun that sounds vowels a, e, I, o, u. So before that word we use an article, and when the word sounds consonant, consonants means apart from vowels, the alphabets that we have, that is consonant. B, C, D, F, and the article is used before the specific noun when we want to specify something. It has many more uses. You can use the article before a planet's name, mountain's name, newspaper name, nation's name, continent's names, river's name. So let's see the first one. Rakesh is an ideal son. Why? Because I is vowel sound, so an article will be used. Who remains devoted to his father as he grows professionally to become a or the. Here, this is not specific doctor, it's in general. So, a famous doctor. As his father grows old, he takes care to spend time with his father, bringing him tea in a morning or the morning. Morning is a specific time of the day. As it is specific, so we will use the article there. So it will be in the morning. And taking him out for a walk or the walk. It's in general now. So a walk. In a in an the evening or in the evening. Now again, evening is a specific time of the day. So in the evening. So this way you got all the answers. See it properly, carefully, because the questions, the game will be on this sentences, on these articles, but not now. First we'll see all the A4 questions, then we'll go for the games. So remember these answers. Now let's move to the next question, A4 second. It says spot the error in each of the following sentences and correct the incorrect ones. Now, spot the error is not only about the prepositions. As you all know, in the sentences, you have to spot the mistakes or grammatically incorrect things. So that error can be preposition, can be verb, can any part of the speech in the sentence. So mostly when you see these sentences, you will find preposition is done in a wrong way. So we will do that only. So prepositions we all know. Word shows relation with noun with another word which shows relation of noun with another word in the sentence. So if you studied prepositions, still you need to work on it. Until and unless you practice sentences with prepositions, it will be quite difficult to tell. the correct preposition in a proper sentence or in a sentence. So, with the help of some experts, grammar experts, I tried to get some answers here, and these are the possible answers. Wherever I'm not sure, I will tell that as well. So, let's see the first one. A. Radha brought pens and distributed them between her five children. Now, she distributed pens between her five children. When we use between, when there are two things, and when there are more than two things, so we use among. So she distributed pens among her five children. If there were only two, so we could use between. Second one, Jayashree and Sujata sat beside each other in complete silence. Now here Jayashree and Sujata sat besides. Is there require S in beside? No. So it will be simply beside. C. His best friend Vijay was blind within one eye. This was very confusing one. Within. We don't use within here. We use with most of the time. But with, when we translate from Hindi, so we can use with. But actual, it will be in. His best friend Vijay was blind in one eye. D. One could dare to encroach on his rights. Now here encroach means to illegally take rights of others. So encroach upon, this preposition will be here, on is error there. E. She was taken with surprise when she saw the famous Taj Mahal. Now taken with surprise. In place of with, it will be by. She was taken by surprise. F. It is not possible to exchange the goods once the sale has been completed. I don't find any mistake or error in this sentence, but still, some said is will be used. So I'm not sure about this sentence. Let's see the next. G. Dr. Sen Gupta has been trying to master the craft for the last 5 years. After the master, there's supposed to be preposition in. Master in the craft for the last 5 years. Next is H. The top ranking candidates will be appointed in senior jobs in banks. So in place of in, for supposed to be used. So for will be used there. Next is I. She knows very well what is expected from her, but she is unable to perform. Expected from will not come. Expected of will come. Expected of her. The last one, J. They will put on a table note in this regard for your consideration. So here, put up will come, not on. Put up a note. So these are the possible answers. Let's move to the third question then. In the third question, some sentences are given. Let's see them. Read the following sentences. Santosh purchased a computer He read operating manual and followed the instructions. So what instructions he has followed? The list is given here. First, he linked the monitor, keyboard and printer. B. He plugged in the main cable. C. He switched on the monitor at the back. D. When the light appeared on the screen, he placed the day disk in a drive A. Now, day disk is the name of the disk. E. He pushed in the disk until the button clicked out. It took about 30 seconds for the computer to load the program. F. He pressed the drive button and disk shot out. G. He replaced the day disk with the document disk. And last, he pressed the function key 7. Okay, these all sentences are in active voice. How we can know that? In active voice, the doer of the action will be given in the beginning of the sentence, or you can say subject will be in the beginning of the sentence. Now here, if for example the first sentence, he linked the monitor. So here, who is doing the action of link? He, that is Santosh. So he is given in the beginning. So he is the subject here. Linked is a verb. And what does he link? What did he link? The monitor. So the monitor is object. The monitor, keyboard and printer is object. So he subject, linked verb, the monitor, keyboard and printer is object. So subject, verb, object. This is the structure for active voice. Now in the passive voice, we'll take the object first, then to be form, then verb third form, by plus subject. Let's see here. Convert these sentences into passive voice by filling in the blanks. The first sentence has been done. Firstly, the monitor, keyboard and printer were linked up. Now who linked up? Santosh. But Santosh, the doer of the action, is not important in passive voice. So sometimes if you skip, so it is okay. So the sentence will be, firstly the monitor, keyboard and printer were linked up, or you can say by him. So by him is not important here. The subject is not important. Action is important. Now let's see the next. Then the dash was dash. Okay, let me show you all the sentences here. Okay, these are the sentences where we have to fill in passive voice properly. So you're supposed to see the sentences, but right now I am unable to go back to the previous slide. So I'll directly show you the answers here. Then the main cable was plugged in. The previous sentence was the main. He plugged the main cable. He plugged in the main cable was the sentence, which we turn into or converted into. Then the main cable was plugged in. The second one, the monitor was switched on at the back. There the sentence was, he switched on the monitor at the back. Okay. Next, when the light appeared on the screen, the day disk was placed drive A. Okay. So was placed, as the sentences are in past tense, so we use to be form of the past. Next, the disk was pushed in until the button clicked out. Now say the button clicked out, it is not changed into the passive voice because the action of clicking is done by the button, not by the Santosh. So that will be in active voice. The previous sentence or the previous action will show in passive voice. It took the computer 30 seconds to load the program. The drive button was pressed and the disk shot out. The day disk was replaced with document disk. And finally, the function key was pressed. The word processor was then ready to use. Okay, these are